So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Before we get started, I'd like to let everybody know that the meeting is being recorded. You are very welcome, and we appreciate if you would let us know your name and where you live. But you are not required to do so. You don't need to tell us that, but we appreciate it. And with that, let's rise for the pledge of
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Linda, would you lead us in roll call?
Sarah?
Here.
Neil?
Here.
Chris?
Here.
Hank?
Here.
Betty? And Betty back.
Great, thank you. Let's move on to public comment. Last time we invited Justice Steigert here to talk about court renovation plans. He had to sit through 2 hours, so let's do public comment and then move right to a conversation with the judge. So I'll open it up for public comment. Margaret.
Margaret Schlotzer, Palatine Bridge. I noticed in the minutes, and I was also at the meeting, that the board voted yes to advertise for the 3 vacant seats that were available on the various boards. I want to know what newspaper it was in, because I didn't see it. Or was it not done at all? And the other thing, this will be the 5th or 6th time I brought it up, that letters were not again sent to people who applied for various positions and were not selected, or did vote to do that. Also, it goes on month after month, but I'm here to repeat it month after month until it gets done.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Paul.
welcome.
Paul Stone Arabia, Route 10. As I did last time, I'm going to direct my questions to whoever I feel should answer. Sarah, we'll start with you. How far over the budget, the training budget for the year are we? The planning board training is free online, as well as twice a year at Fulton Common College, Community College rather. It's put out by the state and the county. I took these classes when I was on the planning board. I'm just wondering why we're wasting money to go to this when it's free. Okay. Just now, I just added this quick. Anybody going back by the Connex back there? There's 2 skunks living under. They greeted me when I drove in today. So anybody?
In the back?
Yeah. And I was wondering what went on with that. Weren't we going to get a new storage area for records? I imagine if the skunks are under there, that they're going into the records room. I pity the person that opens that door to get some records. Oof. So I thought I haven't seen or caught up with. Didn't you apply for a grant? Did we ever get that, or was anything ever done with that? Sorry? Didn't you apply for a grant for
This isn't a period for back and forth.
Excuse me?
I'll answer.
Oh, okay. We're doing that? All right, then, also, I put in FOIL requests to you. How much are you paying the labor relations attorney? I see in the minutes that I guess there's been some kind of agreement. Kind of hard to believe, as you as a physical officer of the town, financially, that no money has been ever settled on. And that's what I was told at the last board meeting. Also about the sheriff's bill for court security. The bill we received April 18th. It was sent to you, Sarah, the town supervisor. Town and the judge received an email as well as a letter discontinuing service because no payment from the first of the year. Sheriff stated in his email that the town of Palatine is the only one that he has a problem with. I'd like to know why. As far as the electric work done in the judges' chambers by Don's Electric, the procurement policy the board took was $999. The bill was over that, from what I understand. The procurement states over the amount needs 2 bids and estimates. It wasn't an emergency since Pesh report received on 1/17 and signed off on several months ago. Why were the rules not adhered to? Mr. Novak, it states right here that you said at the last board meeting He has a paper trail for communications between him and Judge Dygert about the renovations. That Chris said that there has been a resistance to meet face-to-face with Judge Dygert to resolve some of these issues. I put in a FOIL request for all the emails between Trustee Novak and Judge Dygert. I got one email from Mr. Novak to Judge Dygert, care also of the town supervisor. I just don't understand why last month when I asked you about it, you said the paper trail, you held up a wad of papers saying that these are the emails. After reviewing the tape, I noticed that that wad of papers was the vouchers that you had signed during the building. I just don't understand how you can say there's a paper trail, and I have the one email here if anybody would like to see it. It's dated June 20th. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Bob Schwarzauer, Town of Palatine. Earlier in the year, I'm not 100% sure, I think it may have been at the board meeting during the month of March, Neil Yurden made a motion or resolution that the various contractors who were awarded the bids last year for the new town hall, that they be reimbursed for the fee that they had to pay to make the bid. And I thought that was a noble idea. I'd like to know, have the contractors been paid, and if not, why have they not been paid? It was approved by the board to pay them.
Thank you. Any other comments? Sandy?
Sandy McCullough from Corning Road, and thank you very much, Art, for paving the road. It was greatly appreciated, and it looks great. I know you guys spent a lot of time out there that day and kept everything in working order. Thank you again. At the last meeting, I had asked about the letter of resignation that was handed in from Art. Well, I've obtained it from foiling it, and I'm going to read it. This notice to inform you of my resignation as chairman of the Town of Palatine Board and from the planning board itself. I feel there are too many obstacles both in the planning board and personal. I could name multiple situations in both. There are two situations I will name. First is Beck Lux subdivision. The application lacked the proper information. I stated that I would stop over and see Beth, and I was emphatically told not to, that it was her responsibility. This is contrary to my beliefs as both a planning board member and as a person. Second, at the last planning board, Pam McKenzie made an open slur in regards to my Native American heritage. Specifically, she said in an open public meeting to grab my feathers and be quiet. This was not something said in jest, but with malice. I find this akin to saying to an African American to go grab some watermelon and chicken and sit on a porch. From day one, Pam was antagonistic towards me, and I don't know why. Her racial remarks showed her bigotry. If Miss McKenzie isn't asked to resign from the planning board and denied any further public office, I will file a grievance with the American Civil Liberties Union and/or federal government. My desire to be on the planning board was not because of boredom. I have a 125-acre farm I run alone. While some were simply trying to improve their resume, I naively wanted to help people. The way that is accomplished is self-sacrifice, not ego. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of the town's structure, even the short period of time it was. Art Navajo Sky. Now, you attended the planning board meeting the very next, and you complimented how nice and how everything was going so nicely.
Who were you talking to?
Yes, you. And you never brought it up. You never said anything. What do you plan on doing this? After all, we don't need another lawsuit. This is unacceptable behavior by somebody on the planning board, and you need to be responsible for taking care of this. And furthermore, the planning board needs to have an attorney there present with them. They're new, they don't understand what they're doing, and these people from the town keep coming back and asking to have their questions answered, and they have to keep coming back. Then we have to pay Greg Dunn to look at everything. Why can't he just be here for the time being until everybody is on board and understands what to do? It doesn't make any sense to me that that's not being done. If not Greg, how about talent? He knows what he's doing with this. He's been very well informed of how to handle these situations. We need to have somebody there at these meetings so that they're not sitting up there not knowing what to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Any other comments? Then we need the motion to close.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on, the next order of business is just a conversation with Justice Steiger. Thank you so much for coming this evening to figure out what we need to do specifically, take specific action steps in order to get this proposal submitted to the Office of Court Administration for the $30,000 that we've already been paid and now need to spend, but rather than give it back to them.
Right. Well, first of all, you have to pass a resolution. I have it right here. I think I gave copies of this to everybody a few months ago.
Okay.
The application itself must be submitted online. However, the following items must be submitted either by mail or fax to us or scanned to JCAP, which is Justice Court Assistance Program. The signature page, the board resolution, the court's annual budget, and estimates. So I think, I don't know what order, but I would say the resolution would have to come first.
Right.
I think we have discussed a plan of switching offices and putting a bench out here. And I think you discussed eliminating that divider there, and we'd have to change the ramp to, so it doesn't stick out in the middle of the courtroom.
Mhm.
And I guess, I'm not an architect, I can't design stuff or, like they would, or before with the other building, we had prints to go on.
Yeah, we can get you a scalable drawing if that's what's needed. And
Well, let's, yes, but who's doing the scalable drawing?
a simple scalable drawing. It does not have to be stamped architectural plans for the minor renovations we're doing here.
And that's what really goes along with the estimate. So we have
Yeah, it would
the
have to have
SIG
a-
page, the board res, the annual
Yeah.
budget, that's a given.
And whatever they would require for a building permit. Right? Would be part of that.
Are they asking for a building permit for the OCA
No,
grant?
the court isn't, but I'm
Okay.
thinking as
We'll
a,
get
like
one.
for the electrical, you'd have to get a permit.
If we're taking down the cubicle, we don't need a building permit for actually even, if we don't change any interior walls and we just put in a door, according to Cliff, we don't need a building permit. For the ramp, he gave me specifications for us to reconfigure the ramp at a 90-degree angle so it's ADA compliant. I sat down with Nate Haig, we did some measurements, and it would work. It would come out, make a 90-degree turn, and come down this way.
Who's Nate Haig?
He's a local contractor. Okay?
I would
Would
say
you be
that-
comfortable working with Nate?
I don't know him, but I would think
Okay.
you should get more than one estimate.
Well, we would have to put it out to bid eventually, but just for the proposal, we don't need to, all we need is
Well, it says
basically.
estimates plural, I don't know what
Okay.
that means.
For the proposal, I think if we just have an estimate, and this is what we did last time, we didn't put it out to bid, is just have an estimate along with the floor plan.
Right, what I
And
did
then-
before is I took the square footage of the building, I took the section of the building that was designated for court use, I took the total cost of the building, divided it by the square footage, come up with a figure for that particular part of the building, and I submitted the
For the construction.
picture of the plans.
Right. For this time, since we don't have a drawing, I guess we should just get a drawing.
Well, we try it. If it, we could try it, if they don't accept it, they don't accept it. They
Right.
said they would either, if we submitted the proposal, they would either give us part of it, all of it, or none of it.
Okay, So let's do this then. What we need to do is ask someone to do a basic drawing. It should only cost a few $100s. It doesn't need to be bid out.
Not even. We're gonna do it on computerized software, architectural computerized software. It will be scalable, it will have everything there. And
Who's gonna do it?
I have the software to do these plans. They're very simple. All it is a footprint with dimensions and door and window openings. I don't think we're gonna need to get an architect involved here to draw a plan, to be honest. It's gonna be very simple. If you'd like to spend the money, but I think they'll accept.
I'm sure they'd accept it. I think the question for me is just, I think that you save, you know, having a professional do a drawing.
That's fine, we can do it.
Saves in the long run.
Just didn't want to spend extra money if we could just use the program, but we
Yeah.
can get somebody. It's fine.
Do you have I mean, this is really your lead, and you need to work with somebody who you're comfortable with. Are you comfortable with Nate Haig?
I mean,
Linda knows his family for years, so.
Yeah, I could talk to him, I don't know, but I was offering, sure.
And just ask him to do a floor plan and an estimate.
Right.
Be clear with him that this means that doesn't mean he gets the project, because we're gonna have to bid out for the project. But if he wants to, charge us, whatever it is at cost for the floor plan, then that's fine.
And on a side note, the roof still leaks,
Right.
so.
And show him that, because that's
Right.
gotta be part of it.
it's- What bothers me is that, and I maybe shouldn't say this, but you hired somebody to fix the roof that sued the town. Now, if somebody sued me at home, I wouldn't hire him to do work for
We didn't hire anyone to fix the roof.
me. Well, I had to come down one day and he crawled up in the ceiling and he had to go to the hardware store and get parts and,
He was the person that Don's Electric sent over, so.
for the ceiling, for the
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah,
Well, it's like saying, well, the guy robs a bank, and then 6 months later, you hire him as a teller.
we haven't hired anybody. Yeah, no, we haven't
know what I'm
hired
saying?
anybody.
Then,
Yes,
I mean,
let's do this all together,
I just wasn't happy with, somebody that cost the town money coming in and doing work.
yeah. So let's,
It didn't make sense.
right, so let's get,
And he
get
told
some,
me at the end, he said, it's either gonna be fixed or it's gonna leak worse. That's what he said when he was,
nothing, there's been,
okay.
so let's
Sounds like Don's.
include that. Let's include that,
He said he had
in,
a 2-inch pipe, a 2-inch pipe running into a 1-inch pipe or something like that.
have Nate look at it.
Okay.
If Nate's someone you trust,
Yeah.
then have Nate come in here, do the floor plan, come up with switching offices, the bench. Obviously, the roof is a priority. What his suggestion is, come up with an estimate, and that's what we propose to OCA. Then we bid out for it. We bid out for it, and it's who, the lowest bidder, and it's not really a subjective thing.
Nate,
Justice, I think you'll find Nate very, very good to work with. I've had him do a lot of work in my home. He's a licensed contractor, very good reputation. I think it'll be a pleasure for you to work with. I can't imagine there being any difficulty with Nate.
Unless the relative Murray.
Yeah, it's his grandson.
Okay.
It's Mert's grandson.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. yeah,
I've used Nate.
His grandson.
Nate put the roof on my house a few years back and did some other work for me. I was quite pleased.
Sounds good to me.
So do you want to be the one to reach out to him, have
I
him
can,
come
yeah, if I
in?
get his phone number.
yeah, I have it here. I have it here with the original estimates, so I can provide that here. And I even have some of the original estimates you can peruse too. I'll give them to you at the end. Just dig it out
And then
of the
is,
folder.
if you can, move it as quickly as possible. If you, once you get everything together, we could call a special meeting to do the resolution and the authorization and get that out right away.
Okay. That should get the ball rolling.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Justice Dygert, I have Eli Kurtz took a look at the bench recommendations, and I have a drawing of what a proposed bench would be if we want to submit that too. It fits within the parameters of what's stated, and I'll make a photocopy and give this to you, and he can do it in whatever woods. It's very similar. It's very similar to what the Village of Canajoharie has for a bench over there. Okay, I was looking at their bench the other day. I also noticed that they have some cameras placed in the courtroom. They have a camera in the courtroom, camera in the justice's chamber, and at the clerk's window. Maybe we can make that part of our grant, because it's good to have a record if anything happens, and it protects all of you. And why not? We're going for the grant. I think it would be a great thing to have, and it's, you know, minimal cost, probably $1,500 installed, to have a few and it's Wi-Fi enabled, and there's a record. This way, if anything ever come up missing, or there was an incident, or somebody made a threat, we'd have a record of it for you, and I think it would be good protection. I can make some recommendations on systems if you want, but I think I'll send that over to you too, so you have that, okay?
Yeah, when I hold court, I have a court-supplied digital recorder that's part of the computer.
I noticed that the judge over in Canajoharie did too, but he also has a camera on the back of his bench, and I'm like, hey, that's slick. This way, if anybody makes a motion, does something that he doesn't see, it's on record, you know, or if something happens so quickly.
It's mandatory that they have the recorder going.
Okay, so we could add to it. I think it would be really good for all of us. So
Okay, and what was that Kurtz's name? Eli?
Eli Kurtz, and he's over on Dillenbeck Road, right on the corner, and he would be more than happy to sit down with you and see any inputs that you want. And I'll give you a copy of, I'd give you a phone number, but he's on it, obviously, so. But you can't miss him. And I'll give you Nathan's phone number in just a minute. I have it in one of my folders here. Here it is. Here's one of his, here. Take this, I have copies. These are these are a couple estimates I had for the various things we were thinking. Okay. There you go, you got those.
Okay.
Now, Justice, back in March, I have an email that you had a security assessment. Did
Yes.
they make any specific recommendations
I
for
called
us?
2 weeks ago. The guy was here and did the security assessment. The officer, he said, I'll go home this weekend and work on it. I haven't heard anything,
It'll be another
so.
couple months.
Well, the thing is, if we were gonna, if they made a recommendation, like, let's say they wanted a bench bolted to the floor.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So I hadn't heard anything, so I called the lieutenant about 2 weeks ago, actually Lieutenant McCardle, I emailed him and asked him, you know, where the results were, and he emailed me back, said he would check on it. And I just got an email last week saying that he thinks that the paperwork was forwarded to the 4th Judicial District, and that they would review it and send it to me. But I haven't got it yet.
Okay.
So that's where that is.
The thing is, we're actually almost to the next year for the grant.
Okay.
So we need to get this.
Grants are out
done.
again now.
Okay.
Last
I mean-
year, they were granting $2.1 million to the courts.
Mhm.
This year, they're granting $2.5 million.
Yeah, it's an election year. So we gotta get this back, and then almost right away, we can turn around and, you know, if we need whatever we should just really make sure to apply for this every single year. We can get $30,000 every year.
That was the original.
Town, like when I went out with the Schlotzhauers in Mannheim, you see, they get it every year.
Right.
They do something different, you know, and they're,
That was the plan with the building. I was gonna apply for furniture and
Mhm.
security
Yeah.
cameras and.
but we can do something. So let's do this and then.
Sure, and we could take the furniture with us and security cameras if we ever do something in the future.
Right,
It's all movable, so it's fine.
right. we'll thank you.
Thank you.
You have my cell phone number, right?
Yep.
So if you know, just let us know the next steps, and if we need to call a special meeting, we'll do it.
Justice, if Nathan mails you anything, can you just shoot me a forwarder on that
Mhm.
so I know what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll drop this off for you when I make a copy.
Just give it to Linda.
Okay, you
Yeah.
got it.